Rashard Choice, Joe Burns. Any advice you can get from those guys heading into this your final year? And do you think you run like either one of them?
Uh, so Joe is kind of he's been more supportive of me than I could ever have hoped for. He's been with me every step of my journey. And every time we talk, somehow football comes up. I'm not sure exactly how, but somehow we always end up talking about it. And I remember sophomore year, I was explaining to him how pass protection, all that stuff was difficult for me to understand. And he was just supporting. He was like, just keep practicing. Like, of course you're gonna get thrown in the fire, you're gonna get ran through sometimes, but just keep working at it. And so he's always giving me tips and techniques and stuff to try. And I mean, over the course of time, I've become better at it, and I owe him tons of credit for that. Tashard, we've recently started to talk a whole lot more, and he's just giving me a lot of guidance. It's not really football stuff, it's more like life and just what to expect with the game, the ups and downs of it, because they both, of course, had great careers at Georgia Tech, and they both played in professional football, in National Football League. So, I mean, they just kind of been guiding me, like, mentally and physically on the field, just kind of what to expect and what to prepare for and how to go about perfecting your craft. So, I mean, I don't feel like I run like either one of them. Joe is more of I don't remember him much at Georgia Tech, but I do remember him in high school. And I used to go to all his games. I had my jersey of him, and I mean, I looked up to him. So I just remember him vividly running through everybody. Like, no matter who was in his way, he ran through. He ran very powerful, very angry. And Tashard was more of I guess, just do it all, kind of get him in space and just watch him work kind of guy. So, I mean, I kind of try and be like both of them, but I can't say I run like more one than the other. They both just kind of special in their own ways.
You obviously added the weight, the muscle. Do you feel like you could be more like Joe a little bit this year and kind of be that physical back Clemson wants?
I feel like I can, but part of that is a mindset too. And, I mean, it's not something that just happens overnight. It's like something that you have to, I guess, be passionate about. Because talking to him, he's always told me he ran angry. Like, everything that troubled him, worried him that week, he just let it all out on the field. And me, I'm just kind of like a calmer guy. Like, I try not to get try to stay even keeled. And so, I mean, I can't really see myself just getting mad for no reason. But, I mean, I definitely believe that come certain situations or a time where I need to be a powerful runner, that I could definitely do that.
How do you work on developing that mindset of being more aggressive, so to speak?
It's just something that you get in practice. Just taking every rep full speed and just kind of I'm not going to say being reckless, but just kind of working on it. I mean, it's not like I have to be mad to try and run through an arm tackle or just break a tackle. It's just kind of just developing, like, okay, let's run physical. Like, let's make sure that you're falling forward every play, every time you carry the ball. Like, nobody should stop you. It's kind of I'm not gonna say a pride thing, but it's like I guess you should take pride in the fact that you shouldn't allow anyone to stop you one-on-one. Like, you should be able to run through or beat anybody. Like, you should be confident enough in yourself, I guess is the better term, that you should always win every matchup. You should believe that 100%.
Tavian and Travis got so much attention last year, and you just kind of stayed the course. How could it feel to see your name second on the depth chart when it came out yesterday? And talk about the camp that you had.
So funny story, I actually didn't see it. My mom called me last night, and she said, I feel like a congratulations are in order, and I was like, for what? And so she told me then, and I was just like, oh, okay, well, thank you. And but honestly, all of that stuff, it doesn't matter in our room. We're still a group of competitive backs. I mean, we're all very worthy of playing, and we're all going to play. So, honestly, we're all just working on pushing each other, getting better every day. It's not really where we are on the depth chart. We just support each other no matter where we are. With one of us on the field, I mean, we all prepare like we're starters. So the depth chart kind of just gives us, I guess, kind of the crowd, the fans, kind of something to look at. But in the day in our room, we know that we're all preparing like starters. We're all very good backs, so we all believe in ourselves and we support each other no matter what. So it's just something to look at, I guess.
Is it easy to get frustrated, though, if you're not the one getting as many reps as you'd like?
I mean, sometimes, yeah, that's just human nature. But at the end of the day, too, somebody told me once that it's not what how many reps you get, is what you do with your reps. So I've just adapted that mindset, and I'm trying to make the most of every opportunity that I get, and I mean, just go about my business the right way.
How do you feel like you're different right now from where you were last
Last year I progressed, I would say, throughout the season. I won't say I started slow, but as the season went along, I kind of picked up momentum, and I was becoming more confident. And that's carried over into the spring, into this fall camp, and I'm seeing the field a lot better. I'm being a little more flexible. I'm not just kind of straight ahead trying to run everybody over kind of guy. I've kind of, tried to make some people miss, and sometimes I make it happen, sometimes I don't. But it's just trying to incorporate different areas of my game, like develop different areas of my game, and become a more versatile back.
And talk about coming out of high school as an option quarterback, coming to Clemson, winning a starting job, getting injured at BC, and then last year, again, having to come back and just let everybody know where you stand. Again, what's it like? Talk about the 3 years being at Clemson and how that's affected you.
So it's definitely been a journey. Coming in to Clemson out of high school, I had no clue what I was getting myself into going to running back. I had guys. Well, first of all, pass protection was also something I never done, and it didn't make it any easier going up against guys like Stephon and Tony Stewart and all those, Ben and B.J. Goods, and it was a nightmare. They ran through me every time. But so once I finally started to progress in that, ball carrying has always been kind of natural for me. But it was just becoming a complete back. I never caught the ball, never had to pick up any blitzes or learning defense. Like coming out of high school, I didn't understand what a defensive structure was. I just kind of did what the coach told me to. And so coming in freshman year was my main focus, trying to learn as much as I can in a short amount of time because I wasn't expected to play until Zach got hurt. So I finally started to pick up on some of the stuff. I was kind of starting to develop my way, and then I get hurt. And senior year I got hurt as well of high school, and so I was like, okay, I bounced back before, I can bounce back again. But this time it was a little bit different because when I got hurt in high school, I was, of course, a starter. But this time I was battling for a job, and of course, when I get hurt, that's when Wayne kind of just takes off and becomes Wayne Gallman, that you all know. So coming back from that, then redshirting the next year, I still didn't necessarily trust my knee. It was kind of more of a mental battle than it was physical. And I was scared to get hit on, and I was scared I was going to re-injure it. It's just like something was always nagging about it. But finally I get through that, get back to it, and I'm ready to play the redshirt sophomore year, and that season did not go anywhere close to how I wanted it to or expected it to. So at this point I was just kind of at a low point, like, do I even belong here, stuff like that. I was doubting myself more than anything. And so I had an experience talking with my parents that I just got to get back to the basics. That's when, faith and how I was raised and all that stuff came back into play, just kind of getting back to myself, like starting to believe in myself, just starting to do the simple things that I did that made me the player I was that got here. And so as the season went along, the next year, Travis came, and Travis is a phenomenal player, and Tavian and all of them. And so, I mean, they earned their share, they earned their carries, and so it's kind of like still felt like I was on the back burner early in the year. And then that's when talking with Joe and Tashar, they just kind of told me to control what I can control. I mean, if I'm on the field and I'm making plays, there's no reason that the coaches should not have a reason to put me back on the field. And so that's when I just kind of realized that I can control what I can control and just do what I know I can do whenever I get the opportunity, and then the rest will take care of itself. So as the season went along, I was starting to get more carries, more playing time. And I mean, it's been a journey. It's definitely not been the ideal one. But at the end of the day, I'm grateful for all that it's taught me and all that I've learned going through it.
All the coaches say this has been your best fall camp. Did it feel like that to you?
I feel like it did. This time I actually stayed healthy. I feel like my pass protection was finally something that I can say, okay, I know I can do this. Like, no matter who's coming, I know I can pick up the blitz. I can identify more than times than not where the blitz is coming from. And running the ball, I mean, I just felt loose. I felt fast. I felt like I'm taking those steps to become the all-around back. I mean, I know I'm not there yet, not anywhere close. But I'm finally starting to see progression, and I mean it's something to take pride in. That okay, I've come a long way. I still have a way to go, but I'm making strides, the proper strides.
Coach Elliott said that.
You talking about Furman or? Okay. We finally get to hit somebody other than Cleveland and Dexter and Christian and Kendall, and we finally somebody's hitting me besides them, or I'm hitting somebody. It's amazing. Like those guys, my body has taken a beating from them over the years, needless to say, and finally the fact that I get to hit somebody else or just go line up against somebody else, it's special. I mean, we've all been working so hard and since, of course, Alabama, and we just kind of had that sour taste in our mouth. And so we're just finally excited to go get another chance to play ball because we still have that bitter feeling in our mouths. Like we kind of just want a chance to let it loose, like cut loose, and put that in the past and start working towards something else.
Coach Elliott said that you're undoubtedly the leader of the running backs group. You take some pride in that. What's it like having some of the younger guys in there?
I do. It's not something that I kind of accepted at first, but towards I guess kind of when I became the old head in the room, it's kind of when I realized, okay, I need to step up. I have the most experience, and it's something that I kind of watched and learned from guys like DJ Howard, Zach Brooks, CJ Davis, and all of those guys. They kind of showed me the way. It's more the fact that I didn't have to necessarily step up and become any more vocal or be anybody different than who I was, but they just kind of showed me the way, kind of how to lead and how to take the younger guys on your wing, because that's what they did for me. And so being able to do that for Taven and Travis and Lynn J and all of them, it's been a blessing. They're definitely interesting characters and they're all different, but in the day we have a great time, and I mean they lead me too. Like I'm not just the sole leader in the room. We all kind of lead in our own ways, and feed off each other. But it's just nice to be able to help them and give them advice and criticism, knowing, I mean, they come to me for the stuff like that and help. And I mean, it's just the fact that I know that I've worked my way up the chart, like the leadership pole, I guess you could call it. But yeah, it's just nice to be able to give back and share the wisdom that I was taught to.
Cleveland was saying Lynn J has quite the personality. What's he like?
We've talked in the room about Lynn J. Me, Travis, Taven, Darian Rencher, Ty Thomas, and Ryan McClain, Sylvester. We've all talked. Oh, and we got Ty Lucas as well. But we've all talked, and Lynn J is a guy, I don't know if he thinks about what he says before he says it. He just kind of talks, and he'll say some stuff like, where did that come from? Like, what made you say that? And so he's just a guy, he's funny. He has a character, what's the word I'm looking for? He has some character traits, I guess, that you would never guess that you would get from him, and it kind of surprises me every time. But no, he's definitely a funny guy. He's a great athlete. He's a great running back. He's got a lot of potential in him. He's going to be a great back.
You talked about how you had to run pass protection. Do you think you've been able to mentor Travis and now Lynn J in that area?
Oh yeah. So when Taven got here too as well, we were kind of the same, but I feel like we were in the same area. He played running back before, so I was kind of catching up to him, I guess. And so I guess me and Taven have kind of mentored both of those guys in the same aspect because we kind of were at the same spot. We were kind of working on the same things at the same time, and so it's like what I would see sometimes he wouldn't see, and that Travis and Lynn J were doing, and sometimes I would see things that Taven didn't see that they were doing. So it's kind of, we've been working together, and now it's getting the fact that Travis is becoming more involved. He's working technique more as well, and we're just kind of all working together to mentor each other, because I'm not going to say I'm perfect either, and they'll see something, they'll let me know what I did wrong. And I mean, the feedback is greatly appreciated. We all, like I said, we're all just a great group. We work well together, and that's what makes us so good.
Oh, guys, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to stop because I need to get him to radio before he has to go. So, sorry.